On October 1st, 2019, Lori Bray vanished from her hometown of Laurel, Montana. Her family, friends, and the police all prayed for her safe return. However, when Lori's body was found in a ditch next to Yard Office Road in East Laurel, the case quickly evolved into a homicide inquiry. In this video, we will be looking at what happened to Lori Bray and how she was killed. At the time of her passing, Laurel, Montana resident Lori Bray had lived there for 54 years and had reached the age of 54. People who knew Lori described her as a hard-working and kind-hearted lady who liked helping out in the community and greeted everyone with a smile. Her friends and family also said that she was always willing to lend a helping hand. Lori was fairly well-liked in society due to the fact that she was known for having a pleasant and cordial demeanor. She hardly ever made enemies. She worked at the Cedar Ridge Casino as well, but she had no idea at the time that her job would one day bring her face to face with the person who had killed her. The evening of October 1st, 2019, was the last time anyone saw Lori. She had just finished her shift at the Cedar Ridge Casino and was on her way home. The following day, she failed to show up for work, and her concerned co-workers quickly informed her son, Justin Smith, about the peculiar situation. Justin, concerned about his mother, drove all the way down to Lori's house, only to discover that it was deserted, with the exception of the 54-year-old woman's dog, who was left alone. In addition, Justin located his mother's automobile, which had the sunroof open. Inside the vehicle, he discovered his mother's phone, handbag, and clothes, but there was no evidence of the person who had gone missing. As a consequence of this, he immediately contacted the authorities to report that she had gone missing and started assisting in the search operations. After being told of the incident, investigators immediately arranged search parties, and on October 3rd, they located Lori's body inside a ditch next to Yard Office Road. The deceased was found in the ditch approximately 5 kilometers away from where Justin spotted Lori's car, and once emergency personnel arrived at the scene, they discovered that the victim was not wearing any clothes at all. In the end, an autopsy revealed that Lori had been the victim of a suffocation death, and the authorities discovered a foreign DNA sample under her fingernails, which pointed to the possibility of a struggle. She was eventually found brutally strangled to death. A few miles from the Yellowstone National Cemetery on Laurel Airport Road, where her abandoned automobile was recovered the same day, her naked body was discovered the next day in a wooded area east of Laurel on Yard Office Road. According to evidence acquired by the police, Diego Hernandez arrived at the casino that evening, the night of Lori Bray's disappearance, around 11 p.m. At 12:30 a.m., Bray was seen on surveillance tape getting into her car and unlocking the passenger door for a man whom others present at the casino later identified as Hernandez. The sheriff's deputies questioned Hernandez and found injuries on his face that they said weren't there when he was at the casino. Along with admitting it, he claimed that the victim was supposed to transport him home after they left the casino. On October 4th, detectives searched Hernandez's residence and gathered his murderous nighttime clothing. Additionally, investigators were able to connect his shoes to a footprint left at the spot where Bray's body was dumped. He said that he had a sexual encounter with the victim on October 7th and that she promptly departed his home following. A few days later, Hernandez was charged with murder when evidence linked him to the slaying of the victim, as well as the area where the corpse of the deceased was discovered. He entered a not guilty plea, but he was ultimately found guilty of murdering someone on purpose. The preliminary investigation into Lori's murder was quite difficult due to the fact that the police did not have a lot of leads to follow up on. Serologist Lacey Van Grinsven, who has spent 15 years working at the Montana State Crime Lab in Missoula, testified as an expert witness before the jury. Her main responsibility is to examine the evidence for signs of blood or sperm. In a twice peer-reviewed report submitted on October 23, 2019, Grinsven stated that she examined 13 pieces of evidence, including Bray's trousers, hoodie, and underwear. The leather seat cover from the rear seat of Bray's 2003 Chrysler car was also included in the report. More than half of the seat cover was covered in blood spots, according to Grinsven. According to Grinsven, the interior front and interior back of Bray's jeans were stained with blood. They searched the neighborhood where her body was discovered and even talked to numerous others who knew Lori, but their efforts were fruitless. People had no understanding of why Lori would end up becoming the victim of such a terrible crime because she led such a calm life and was amicable with the majority of the population. As a result, the investigation made very little to no headway, and the detectives found themselves starting from the very beginning. It's interesting to note that the police made their first breakthrough after deciding to track Lori's movements using the CCTV footage they had. Because the police had an estimate of the time she left the casino on October 1st, they were able to search through hours of security film to find her leaving the facility with an unidentified male in her car. Bloodstains were found on the seats of Lori's car, as well as mud and garments strewn about, which indicated that a fight had taken place. When the police finally caught up with Diego, they discovered that he had recent scrapes on his face, and the footprint left at the scene of the crime matched the shoes that Diego was wearing. On top of that, the location data from Diego's smartphone demonstrated that he was present on October 1st at the casino, Lori's residence, and even the spot where her corpse was found. All of these places were where she was found dead. In addition, the foreign DNA sample that was discovered under the victim's fingernails was an exact match for Diego's, and as a result, the investigators did not spend any time arresting him. In addition to the investigation that took place on this case, a report that was filed on October 23, 2019, Grinsven stated that she examined 13 pieces of evidence, including Bray's jeans, hoodie, and pants. The report was double peer-reviewed. In addition to that, the report contained the leather seat cover that was taken from the rear seat of Bray's 2003 Chrysler sedan. Grinsven stated that she was able to identify blood spots that covered more than half of the seat cover. Grinsven reported that there were bloodstains on the interior of the front and back pockets of Bray's pants. Grinsven also conducted an independent examination of 2 vials containing fingernail clippings from both of Bray's hands. The samples revealed that both of Bray's hands had traces of blood and debris. Grinsven stated that she had also analyzed swab samples that had been obtained from Bray's face, neck, and upper and lower bodies. Blood was discovered in various places on Bray's body, but no sperm was discovered in any of the swab samples, as stated by Grinsven. Grinsven said that she discovered blood in both Bray's vagina and rectum, but she did not find any evidence of semen in either site. 4 days after Bray's passing, Hernandez was questioned by sheriff's deputies, and he had scratch scars on his face at the time. During the cross-examination, the attorneys for Hernandez's defense questioned Grinsven about the procedure for the report peer review and the knowledge she knew about the alleged crime while she was doing the tests. Grinsven claims that she has access to police reports regarding the incident, which enables her to gain knowledge regarding the identity of a suspect, as well as the investigation being conducted by the authorities. Where is Diego now? When Diego was brought before the judge, he pleaded not guilty and asserted that he was innocent. However, in addition to the testimony of other witnesses, the prosecution was also able to call Lori's boss, who stated that he had seen Lori attempting to conceal herself from a male at the casino on October 1st. Diego Hernandez was found guilty of premeditated murder in the end, after the jury deliberated and considered all of the evidence, and he was subsequently sentenced to life in prison in 2021. Because Diego is still ineligible for parole, he is currently serving his sentence at the Montana State Prison in Deer Lodge, which is located in the state of Montana.